you completed?
For me, this crashed actually. I can share the screen and show it to you, but it's not moving. Am I sharing it now? No. Yes. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see the screen.
So there are a few things that I saw. One thing is this one, there was some dependency error for the TF TensorFlow. And then while allocating the column size below it, it broke. So if you see here, for the length of the tweets, this was the max length.
Oh, see, max length, you just give it as don't give it more than 36. I know a lot of it will be truncated, but just give 36. That's it. 3,493 and all, if you give, it will crash. Because
no, so this 3493 was only in the train set. So I thought of let's take an average for 4,000. I don't know how much will it be for the test set.
No. 4,000 you need a very big compute power for it. You can't do it with Colab. So you require.
And then it broke here.
No, it is because of the train sets. Can you just change it now to 36 and try now?
I can do that. I think all the variables are lost.
Yeah, but you know, for this is just to get a practice, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot do anything. One option for you is you should all have good GPUs and you should go for what to say. There is some thing called Jarvis Labs AI, which will give you like for 1 minute, 1 hour, it is only $1 or something like that, which if you are interested to try, then you can use that. Many service providers are there. Don't go for cloud and all. Cloud and all, they'll charge you a lot.
Yeah. So, but I had written the complete code here till visualization and everything, and up till predictions. And for predictions also, if you see on the test data, there were these many rows.
So what I'll do is put a run on and run it now. Now that you have changed that thing size, no, you just do a run on and run it now.
I can try to do that.
Yeah.
Let's close this error message. Restart the session. Click here, do a run on. But the problem with this is you will download around 2 GB of data here for TensorFlow. So this will take another 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's okay. So meanwhile, we'll just check how many people completed. How many people completed? At least one data set. Guru Prakash, Amit. Yeah, Guru Prakash, can you unmute and tell?
I have completed one data set and I am doing it for the spam now.
Okay. Which data set you completed?
I have completed for the Goodreads.
Oh, can you share your screen and show?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about Amit Kaushik? How many data sets you completed?
I need some more time, ma'am.
I completed spam ham.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. See my screen.
Yeah, can you increase the size in your thing? Little. 125 or something. Yeah, 110 or, oh, this is good. This is good. Yeah.
I have taken only the ratings and as well as the review text. And then did some the pre-processing. Then here it is just classifying that okay, how many are rating 1, 2, 3 is just a to check that okay, how many counts are there. And earlier I tried with all the data, but I also has faced the same issue as Krishna. It used to crash. So now what I did is that okay, I took only a few data sets, especially if you see here. Where is the data set here?
Yeah, you are taking 1500, right?
Yeah, I took only 1500 data set here.
Yes.
So then initialize the model. And I have trained, I mean, epochs, I have trained only for the 3 epochs here. If you see here, only 3 epochs and batch size of 10.
So model
So with
is
this,
bird base big one, is it? What is it? Bird big model or is bird?
it's a BERT based model, Usha.
Can you go to the model name?
Yeah.
The place
Here
where
it,
you assign the model name.
here it is the model summary.
No, not the model summary, the model name itself.
Model
No, not here.
assigned.
Up. You will be assigning the model name up.
Optimizer here.
No. Before this. Tokenizer and model, TF BERT model.
Sorry. Yeah. This one.
No, before this. Yeah, you're downloading the model, no? There, go there. Before that green 2 lines. Yeah, here,
This
BERT
is
large
BERT
uncased.
large.
All of you start using BERT, normal BERT uncased. If you go to the Hugging Face, you'll find the name of the model BERT uncased because BERT large uncased is 340 million parameters. If you just use BERT, go to the Hugging Face and you use BERT.
Just BERT, it's.
Yeah, no, you should find the correct name and you should use it. I'm just telling BERT, you should go to the Hugging Face, find out BERT uncased, what is the exact spelling, and then you replace it. Because spelling, they would have given some name as a spelling. You have to find out it from the Hugging Face API. I told you how to use the Hugging Face API in the morning, Ray. Don't use BERT large. All of you don't use BERT large. BERT large is 340 million parameters. So that is why the GPU is crashing. Use BERT. BERT uncased one model will be there. Try to. Can anybody quickly go to Hugging Face, find out BERT case? Wait, let me also check.
Ocean, for me, the imports were also giving some errors, the pip thing.
I think for him that imports is not showing. No, can you share, Guru Prakash? Can you share your notebook in the chat window?
Yeah, I'll do that.
No, but since this is not my personal environment. Sorry, go on. No, I was just saying that.
I mean, it's the same code, nothing else. So it worked for the 3 epochs. I mean, earlier it was 8 epochs. I changed it to only 3 epochs and 10 batch size.
I have put the name. See, I put the name. Can somebody quickly try change this name and try it? The spam ham classifier. Change this name and try it. This is the URL of it. If you go and search in the Hugging Face, you will find if you want to try different models. Can the easiest example is spam ham. Can somebody quickly test this out, BERT base and case, because this has only 110 million parameters. Whoever is doing spam ham, you can test it out. What about Amarnath? Were you able to do it?
Yes, I'm doing them. I need some time actually because preparing that code and I'm just trying to understand and trying to do it. I need some time.
Okay, okay.
But I can finish it. I just need some time.
Yeah, sure. Kaushik Malik. Kaushik Malik, are you in the class?
Yes, yes. I've
How is
completed
it for you?
it. Yeah.
Are you able to do it?
Yeah. I've completed 2. If you want, I can share.
Yeah, please share your screen. For all the people who are telling the model is crashing, use BERT base and case instead of BERT large. Because BERT large is at 340 million parameters. Yeah, please show me.
Yeah. Able to see my screen?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The Google Colab you're able to see, right?
Yeah.
So this is the natural digester data. So I took only 2000 sample and then just pre-processing steps, just removing the not required fields and then some cleaning processes and stop words removal and then steaming and limitizations I've done. And after that I've split this data into test and training sets. So it comes like that. And then this is the model X train. So I'm just trying to pass the X parameters like test parameters here. And then these are the couple of values that is showing. And then it is the Y train values 0 and 1 classifiers. And then these are the input IDs and mask and embedding systems, the model definitions, then model summary, and after that using the optimizer, Adam optimizer and loss value setting up and all, and then trying to fit the model. So here I just did a 3 epochs and batch size of 10. So it took somewhat less time for me. And as this is a only 2000 data set out of around 16K, I guess. So it gives me around somewhere 77.77 accuracy. And then I'm just trying to draw a graph on loss and accuracy graph. And after that, these all are in the training data set, the accuracy graph, loss graphs. Then I did some testing on it. And then I'm trying to get the accuracy on the test data. So it comes around 74.74%. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, good. What about Ganesh Subramaniam? Are you able to follow it?
Madam, I have completed for the tweets which was in the Kaggle. Initially, I had the issue of crashing. Then I had posted in our WhatsApp. Then Aditya guided to set the GPU and also change the epoch to from 10 to 3. I think 9 to 3. Then it was all smooth, madam.
Okay, good. So at least people are able to follow something. I will just share my screen and I'll start explaining. But now that you have already done hands-on, whatever I'm going to explain is going to you'll be able to understand better. So what is BERT? BERT stands for bidirectional encoder representations for transformers. So it's a transformer based architecture. It has only encoders. That's why it's encoders representations for transformers. What is bidirectional? Bidirectional means both the directions. So if you see you should understand the context in both the directions. Because if you understand only context in one direction, you won't be able to predict the next word. For example, we went to the river bank. So here the bank is different, but I need to go to the bank to make a deposit. So here for this predicting this bank word, you need to know the words before bank. But to predict this work, this bank, I need to go to the bank. A bank can be river bank also. You need to know the words which are after bank. So we saw 2 different cases where one case to predict the word bank, you need to know the words before the bank. And the river is actually for telling you that it is river bank and not the money bank. So it is a river is before the word. But in the second example, deposit is the word which is actually indicating it is a money bank. So the deposit is coming after the bank here. So it is very important to understand the context in both directions to make the best predictions and to better perform really well in natural language processing tasks. You have to understand the context in both the directions. So that is why BERT is called bidirectional encoder representations for transformers. So BERT is a transformer based model. It has only encoders and it is bidirectional. It understands context in both the directions to actually do natural language processing tasks. So the BERT paper, they have actually trained it using a squad dataset, which is from the Stanford question answering datasets, and BERT is exceptionally performing well in other natural language inference tasks as well. So in BERT, you might have to understand a few things. If you see the performance of BERT by LSTM, Elmo, GPT, BERT, Big BERT, the performance of BERT is very high. And in terms of glue score is generally used for thing, and human performance is here. BERT is here. BERT is performing really well, and so this is the performance of BERT. And how BERT works is there are two. One is BERT base, which is 12 layers of, you have 12 layers of encoders, and BERT large uses 24 layers of, that's why please don't use BERT large, use BERT base. Okay, and it has 110 million parameters. This is 340 million, but don't use BERT large unless you have a good GPU. Okay, don't use BERT large, use BERT base. BERT base, I've shared it in the chat window. Otherwise, it is going to crash. So you are having the CLS token. For every word, you will have a CLS token, which indicates you're going to do a classification task. And the word ends, the sentence ends with a separator tag. This is the format where how you will feed the data to BERT. You will have CLS stands for classification, separator stands for the end of the sentence. And what if you have two sentences? You will again have CLS, one token called CLS in the beginning. Each sentence will be separated by a separator and it will end with a separator. So now I have two sentences. So two sentences also, each sentence is separated by a separator and it also ends with a separator. So for certain NLP tasks, you require additional information. For if it's a text classification, this is sufficient. So whatever you did is a text classification. So you just use a CLS token and separator. But for other tasks, like comparing two sentences, whether the sentence comes after next after this sentence, for certain tasks, you also require other types of embeddings. One is the position embedding. Each word, my comes before dog. Is comes after dog. So these positions are maintained using an embedding called position embeddings. Segment embeddings, whether first sentence comes after the second sentence, all this is captured using something called segment embeddings. So each letter, my belongs to first sentence, likes belongs to second sentence. This is captured in something called, okay, the first four words belongs to first sentence, the second four words belongs to second sentence, EB. So this is captured in something called segment embeddings. So we have for additional NLP tasks, we have other extra two types of token embeddings. Is nothing but word embeddings, which we saw for every word there is a word embedding. In addition to that, there are two more embeddings. One is the segment embedding and the position embedding. Position embedding for telling the position of each word in the sentence, and segment embedding for telling which sentence the word belongs to. Is it the first sentence or the second sentence that you obtain? So in BERT, there are two important concepts which you need to understand. One is the mass language model and the next sentence prediction. So BERT is actually pre-trained on these two tasks. So before BERT model, before fine-tuning the model, you just perform a couple of tasks on BERT architecture. What are those couple of tasks? First thing you perform is called mass language model. Second thing you perform is next sentence prediction. So what you do in mass language model is you randomly, the BERT architecture, what they do is they randomly mask few tokens. And they predict the tokens, the mass tokens. That is what is mass language model. Randomly around 15% of the words, it will be masked, and your job is to predict those masked words. So this is what is happening in mass language model. Next sentence prediction is nothing but you have to predict if the second sentence comes after the first sentence or not. So these are a couple of tasks where the BERT model is trained on. And you can fine tune this BERT to solve many problems. One is a sequence classification task. And then you can also use sentence pair classification task, question answering. You can also for named entity recognition. So there are many tasks where you can use BERT for. So the benchmark, how it is performing on variety of tasks is also given here. This notebook will be shared. So this is about BERT base. And so once again, I'll explain. So BERT base means it is bidirectional encoder representations for transformers. So it's a transformer based architecture. It is encoder representation, meaning only encoders are there. Bidirectional, it gets the context on both sides. Here, the word river is responsible for telling it is a river bank. And so the word before the bank is responsible. So here the word deposit is responsible for telling us it is money bank. So the word comes after the bank. So it is very important to know the context before and after. That is why it is bidirectional to perform better in natural language processing task. That's why BERT is bidirectional encoder representation for transformers. This is the performance of BERT across comparison of BERT with other architecture. BERT base, BERT is here. It's performing really well. There are two models. One is the BERT base and BERT large. BERT base is 12 layers. This is 24 layers, 110 million parameters, 340 million parameters. For each sentence will have a classification token appended before it and separator token appended after it. For certain tasks, you require two types of extra types of embeddings. One is segment embedding, telling which sentence each word belongs to. First 4 words belongs to sentence A, that's why it's EA, and the next 4 sentence belongs to sentence B, that's why it's EB. And position embedding for each position, how whether see my comes after see dog comes after my, is comes after dog, that position embeddings is also captured. So you have two types of tasks. One is mass language model and next sentence prediction. Mass language model is 15% of the words will be randomly masked and made to predict. And you also have next sentence predictions where you have to predict what the next sentence is. So this is about BERT. I particularly want to point out Ganesh Subramaniam, are you there in the class? So this is Hindi Tamil question answering. Somebody asked, Ganesh, I think, asked how to answer question answering task in the local language. So this is done by the guy is called Partha Padulkar. Okay, he is a professor at IISc and he is also go and Google him out. You'll find his email ID from the IISc website also. Partha Tadulkar is the person who's working. He combined with, he collaborated with IIT Madras to come up with a lot of architecture. So the kind of architectures which actually worked are REMBERT. Muril and REMBERT are two architectures which are working really well with it. See, REMBERT is a version of BERT which is trained on regional languages. Now you understand BERT and all. So this is REMBERT. So if I tell REMBERT, you'll be able to understand. It is some variation of BERT. Okay, I'm sharing all of the details in the WhatsApp. Please check. So this is a REMBERT. So this REMBERT paper also is there here. If you are interested in regional language, because if you want to build products or if you are interested in regional, now you understand BERT, then understanding any BERT variant is easy. So I have shared the REMBERT model. This is for the data set also. I've shared the competition. Here the competition is there. This is a competition which you can test it out. This is a question answering using Tamil and Hindi. So you can test out this competition. You can look for sample notebooks, the paper REMBERT, and Muril is the another paper. This is for regional language. These models are trained in regional languages. So this is the Hugging Face. This is the paper for Mural. The above is for Rembert. For Mural, this is for regional languages. It's trained in a lot of regional languages. So if you're curious to somebody asked on the first day how to do it for regional languages and all. I told you, right, while teaching transformers, I'll be covering all that. You can also go for XLM raw, but we are trying for multilingual thing. This is for regional language. All of which I'm sharing is for regional language. If you're planning to build products or planning to work on things, you should be able to understand it. So is everything clear? So that the question Ganesh you asked, like what are the models and how to approach regional languages thing. I've shared Mural, Rembert, XLM Robota. These are the models which you can use. I've shared the Hugging Face API and I've also shared the research paper as well. So if you want to do any work with the regional languages, you can choose that. And Bert also I explained you after doing it, if you are listening to Bert, you will be able to understand much more better. So Bert and everything is clear for all of you?
Ma'am, one theory question. So when using the BERT model, if it is using neural networks, does it include any backpropagation in the pre-training model? Or is it only the
it will be having back propagation because encoder, if you take one encoder inside that attention model and then feed forward neural network is there, right? It is using back propagation, but
Okay,
that is all
so
abstracted from us, how it is using and all that. It is using back propagation. That's why you're giving, optimizer and all that you're giving values, right? Just like any neural network here also, all those compiler parameters are coming, right?
okay.
So every encoder inside has an attention layer and feed forward neural network. Feed forward neural network uses back propagation.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Yeah, thank you.
So everything clear? So all three data sets, spam assignment is spam ham, natural language processing and Goodreads. All three data set should be done in BERT base, which is that 110 million parameters I shared. No, that you should do. You shouldn't use BERT large. You should submit all three notebooks with applying BERT base. So I've shared the Hugging Face link of that model name. You can check it out. You should use BERT base, not BERT large. Using BERT base, complete all three data set and submit the notebook. That is your assignment. And so anything else? Power you finding transformer, BERT and all that. See, these are powerful things where you can do powerful tasks. Compared to deep learning, using transformer based variant, you can accomplish a lot of things. This is what is used in real time. So that is why I thought it's good to teach you that. So how is it going above the head or able to understand any feedback?
Very interesting, Usha.
Yeah, thank you.
for the first time, I coded something in the this was totally new concept, and I really enjoyed learning it.
Yeah, I'm very happy you liked it, and I would love to all of you to become experts in that. Try building products. Ganesh has some idea building products in what to say for the local language is mother tongue Tamil, so he wants to build some fake news classification thing. So instead of doing it alone, you can also collaborate with your teammates here and do it. And also one more thing, assignment, you can club with your teammates and do it. There is no requirement restriction that you should do your assignment alone. But while submitting, each of you submits the individual copy of the assignment, because some people will prefer doing joint work and all that. As long you, the reason for giving assignment is to understand the concept. If you can team up and then study, that is also a good thing for me. So thanks for sharing feedback, Krishna Kumar. And has anybody else got anything to say?
Please respond if you have any feedback.
Ganesh, are you in the class? Ganesh Subramaniam? Ganesh Subramaniam is not there in the class. Because we have taught a lot of regional language thing which he asked for in the first day of the class, if you remember. He was doing a project in Tamil, fake news classification. So he was asking particularly, see, BERT may not work well if you're doing a Tamil data set and you're trying to classify or do something, BERT will not work well. You should use Muril or RemBERT for it. So for each of the multilingual, you should either use XLM, Roberta, Muril, RemBERT. So for different type of use case, you have to use different type of BERT variant. So everyone is comfortable. If you have any feedback or if you want to share something, you can tell. This is the last before the next week is the final class where I'll also teach you about the evaluation and all that. So if you don't give feedback, then I will not understand what you want or what is it you are expecting. If you want a specific thing, you can let me know.
So, ma'am,
I mean, for me, there is no feedback as such, but only thing I need to do more hands-on. I think as of now, still it is, I mean, it is going okay for me. So I need to have some more exercises and assignments done, then I will be comfortable.
Okay, great. Next week will be toughest class. I'm telling you now itself. I'm going to teach you some advanced Kaggle problems. See, I can go and teach some basic things also. Whatever is in the syllabus, I will teach some advanced things so you can all start competing. Currently, there are a couple of Kaggle competition which is running for 3 months. So amongst your teammates, you can form teams and compete in that also. I don't know how you'll manage. You'll manage time, because currently you have all of you have full-time job, family, kids, and then you have to study for the Saturday. You have to sit here, then do the assignment of whatever is given in Saturday, and then study for exams and all. You have a lot of commitments. I don't want to like force you and all. If at all you're working from home and you have bandwidth every day 2 hours to do something or something like that, if you have bandwidth, then you can take up NLP competition, Kaggle competition and do it. The reason is so you will learn one single competition work for 3 hours. Since all of you have limited bandwidth, team up with people who are similarly interested, work every day for half an hour to 1 hour. That is more than enough. You will learn a lot. See, based on your interest, specialize in something. If computer vision is interesting for you, then specialize in that. Because all of us have limited time. So instead of touching a lot of things and being not good in anything, take one domain and be very strong with it. It's a great way to team up and collaborate and study also. You can divide what all you want to study, you can divide amongst your team, and each of you can learn and you can do knowledge transfer. Whatever the other person has learned in 10 hours, he can teach it in 30 minutes. So doing combined study on all saves you a lot of time, especially when all of you have a lot of commitments and time deprived. The best way is to collaborate, team up and learn many things. You can put a schedule for NLP. What if NLP is your area of specialization and you want to become very strong in it? See, there are a lot of other interesting things which are coming up. Speech analytics. You will also have computer vision. Many domains are coming. So whatever is the domain which is interesting for you, choose that and become an expert in that. One person cannot learn all of it in short time. So it's the best way to team up and collaborate and learn, provided you find the right teammate and to study and all that. Best wishes. Tomorrow, next week is the last class where I'll teach you something which I don't know if you will really have time to participate in Kaggle competition, but I will teach you. So even after your MTech, suddenly you will get interest in Kaggle competition. See, the Kaggle competition as such, don't focus on winning. Okay, winning is not the goal here. You will learn the tips and tricks here, how to take a data set, how to handle it, how to fine tune it, how to ensemble it, how to pre-process. There are other things which you focus on. Just the people will share some, every competition people are sharing 200 notebooks. And the 200 notebooks, then there's a lot of learning you can do in that. You go through each notebook, lot of people will put research papers and things like that. So one problem, how to solve it in 30 to 40 ways, you will get it. In discussion forum, lot of people will share insights. So use Kaggle for learning. It's not necessary you should compete in it and become something and all. That is, if you have a lot of time, please do. But use it for learning purposes. It's a good tool. You can use it. And complete the assignment on time. Next week is the last class. If you want, I'll tell you how to do evaluation, what evaluation will be, that quiz and all that I'll share. And if you want anything specifically to be covered in the next week, you can let me know. See that somebody asked for neural networks basics, which I've shared last week. Then somebody asked for that regional language thing, which I've also shared. Outside that, if any of you had asked me something and if I had not shared, you can let me know that I'll share it by next week. With this, we'll wind up. If you have no concerns and things like that, we'll wind up.
Ma'am, one question.
Yeah.
So far as the core concept of NLP is concerned, natural language processing is concerned, I think we discussed in the first class, and it ends at the feature engineering, where you are doing word embeddings, then TF-IDF, and then counter vectorization, and then we are doing parts of speech. So basically NLP ends here, am I right? So because we are now, what we are doing, we are all implementing NLP in different models, using different models like deep neural network or transformer. I understand these are advanced concepts. And so far as the core concept of NLP is concerned, it's ended at feature engineering itself, right?
No, I think, see, if you say in current work environment NLP, they'll start with BERT. They'll start with transformers. NLP starts with transformers. Anywhere in the real world, the work setting, you say, first basics they teach you is transformer and BERT. Pre-processing and all is some side thing for them. In real world colloquial language, you sit in any NLP standard tape. ABCD of NLP is BERT for them. ABCD of NLP is transformer. If you don't know transformer, in real world, you cannot solve any problems because everything is solved using transformer based architecture. That's the ABCD for you, for doing and adjusting in a real world NLP team. You take any sample thing is most of the real world competitions are in Kaggle only. So if you take Google research, they were not able to solve that question answering in Tamil problem. They are coming and putting it in Kaggle. So Kagglers can give them ideas. So many people, University of Georgia, they had some, they're preparing some reading comprehension tool or something. They put the data set. Most of them are real world problems. The Kaggle solution is used to build the real world problem solution. So ABCD of NLP starts with transformer and BERT. The traditional NLP in the literal sense, if you take, you can say it ends with feature processing. But real world, if you have to adapt and work in any NLP team, they'll start with BERT. If you don't know BERT, then that's it. They will look down on you. That is transformer and BERT and all is very basic, which everyone in your team will expect to know it. That is why I taught you, in spite of it not being in the syllabus. If you want to specialize in NLP, this is something very, very basic, which because currently you can't find any team which doesn't use a transformer based variants. Most of them Hugging Face has become, and if you don't know Hugging Face also, that also will become problematic. Everyone will expect you to know this in the real world scenario. That is why I've taught you this. But maybe in the colloquial sense or whatever literal sense or actual sense, you can say it ends there and all. But no, this is the current status in the world. This is how the world is progressing. BERT itself, they say it is old. Now people say Deberta. Most of the Kaggle competition winner is Deberta. Deberta. Roberta, Breberta, Distilbert, and all many variants have come up. So basics is transformer and BERT for NLP class. And other things and all is advanced. If you say BERT is basic for them, advanced they'll go Breberta and many T5 by T5, XLNet, lot of architectures are there. Each architecture is a research paper. And research paper means they have put why see certain design architectural change they use. In the paper, they explain why they introduce a design architectural change. What is the impact? How is it better than the previous paper? So much is there. NLP is a very huge ocean. You have just touched the surface. There's still a lot to learn. Okay. All right, complete your assignment and take it seriously and complete your assignment. And then we'll catch up next week. If you want anything specifically to be covered, you can reach out to me in WhatsApp. I'll try to cover that because next week is the last week. If you want anything outside, like, specific requirements like Ganesh and all, if you have, like, these are concepts, at least if you give a overview or something, then I can cover that. Otherwise, we'll wind up for the thing. Happy Sunday. Please, last year defaulters of assignment also please complete it. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Ma'am, sorry to continue. I just one more doubt I'm getting. I mean, I will not get chance every day. So this Kaggle thing is so it's very interesting when you're explaining. Just I know Kaggle, but I'm also new to it. So how generally winners in Kaggles are decided, and probably we can cover it in the next class also. And second thing, when you're saying that these new models, the new winners in the models are Devata and all these things. So they are the they created those models. Those people or anyone can use this model, because as you said in the morning, all the models are all like it is open source. So it is
yes,
only
anybody can use it. This is a research paper which is open source, and the code and the pre-trained weights also has been open source. Anybody can use it. Without any license issue and all, you can use it. It's free to use. But
so
for using that, you require good GPU. They are giving it fever because they know beyond certain point you can't do experimentation with that architecture unless and until you have good GPU.
and how the winners, like any competition.
In winners in Kaggle and all, it is based on leaderboard score. See, most of the winners, if you see, even I won one competition, that women in data science competition. My team won. See, that was based on the leader. See, if you see our solution, there was not much of a novelty. But the second place winner, they had done something great technique and all. So Kaggle is mainly with the luck, and the score has to be high. Whatever you do, overfitting or whatever it is, the leaderboard score has to be high. That is like when they are making prediction on the test data set. Test data set will be hidden at most of the time. You will not know. They'll only expose a partial data set of the test data set. They'll only expose like 30%, 40%. While only on the day the competition ends, the entire complete test data set, the inference will be made. So it is based on who's building a model, which predicts with highest score in test data set. That's it. So for doing that, you have to do a lot of hyperparameter tuning. You have to find the right model. You have to do a lot of pre-processing. Where a lot of tricks are there in ensembling, a lot of tricks are there in pre-processing, a lot of tricks are there in feature engineering. If you just start with a single competition, every day spend half an hour in that competition, going through the notebooks and discussion posts, slowly, you will understand all the tricks, how people are winning. There are a lot, you need to work very hard, at least put 1 hour every day for 3 months. Then you can win some medal, like initially bronze medal you can get. And then later the second competition, third competition, you can try silver medal. For gold medal, you need to work hard for 6 months. You can target gold medal. It's very tough. You have to work very hard because it is a global competition. No, people all around the world will come. Most of them are sponsored by NVIDIA and things like NVIDIA employees itself will sit and come, which means NVIDIA gives them DGX. It's a very powerful machine. So such sponsored people comes means, and there are many Chinese companies and Japanese companies, they give them 8 V100s, 8 like that machines and all sponsored. Many sponsors will be there. So that is the case, only these people will be winning. Most of the time you see gold medals are taken by these sponsored people because they have the techniques also, also you need that good GPU. Only then you can win. Who's having the big GPU will get the gold medal and the prize winning. But the silver medal and the bronze medal is not like that. You work hard, you will get silver medal, bronze medal easily. So don't target the medals and all. There are a lot of fraud activities also will happen. So we don't know, like many people, they just rent out their GPU and they will not do any work, and then they'll rent out their GPU and become get gold and all. Many fraud activities in China, literally they were paying certain money for being part of the gold medal team and all. That was on an auction. Kaggle medal was gold medal was in auction. So many fraud activities happen also. So don't try to target. Initially, what I would see is you try to learn as much from the Kaggle. Winning silver medal, bronze medal is easy. Gold medal requires hard work. I know a lot of people with just Google Colab in one bird classification competition with just Google Colab Pro. He has won gold medal first place. So cleverness and is very important. So to win with just Google Colab Pro first place, he has to put all tricks in the feature engineering, pre-processing. Either you should have good GPU or you should be highly intelligent. Either one you should have. Cool Walla Pro is only $10 per month, which is easily affordable. 800 rupees per month should be affordable. When we go to family with for eating dinner or lunch, easily 3,000, 4,000 will go up, right? Just one dinner, we're going out with the family, 3,000 rupees. Even normal restaurant, 2,000, 3,000 is going off. It's just one lunch or dinner meal, that much amount we are spending. So if you're really passionate about Kaggle, then you spend some 800 rupees per month and then get the Google Pro subscription, Colab Pro subscription, or you can spend around 4,000 rupees month, which will give you 16 GB GPU RAM and very good GPU. And 54 GB CPU RAM, V100 GPU will get in Google Colab Pro Plus, but you should pay $50 per month.
So, ma'am, why I'm asking this question, I was just trying to understand. I'm not I'm not at all thinking about any kind of medal. Also, I'm just for learning only. So, as from my simple realization, what I could make out that the basic principle for winning a concept competition, it should be novelty. If your ideas are not novel, what solutions you're proposing, see, the models are there on the available, right? Competition power, okay, but unless and until your solution is novel, I mean, there is no point in what is the criteria for finding figuring I mean, deciding who will be the winner, right? Well,
See,
while
Kaggle, it
I was
is
thinking,
purely based on leaderboard score. Novelty, it is only based on leaderboard score. In test data, while they're that hidden test data set while they're making inference, the competition Kaggle rule says that who is winning in the leaderboard score will be getting the cash prize. If the competition has got cash prize, that person only the leaderboard score winner. It is after evaluating on test data set which is hidden. That complete data set they'll evaluate. Only portion of the test data set will be visible before the competition ends. Only based on that, Kaggle winners will be decided. But the competition host will have a meeting with all the gold medal winners. So competition host need not necessarily use the first medal winner. He can combine all, or he can use some other winner as much more novelty solution. He will take that. So all gold medalists will have competition host is not Kaggle. Competition host is other company. They are the clients of Kaggle. Like Google Research was one of the client for them. Then Facebook was one deep fake competition. Facebook was the client. AWS has hosted competition. Georgia Institute of Technology. Yes, day before yesterday, University of Madison hosted one image segmentation competition. These are so if University of UW Madison, University of Washington Madison, or whatever University of whatever UW Madison, that university is hosting it. That university, that point of contact will be there. The person mainly who's in charge of this, that person will have the call, individual call with all the Kaggle gold medalists. And they'll discuss a solution and they are free to choose any solution for deployment. That they sometimes they didn't like all the solution, they'll not use at all. It is still publicity for them. 50 it is like 50,000 to 1 lakh people are seeing that. So brand publicity, there are multiple reasons on why somebody will come and not necessarily to solve problem. American Express is recently considering putting one Kaggle competition tabular table. Do you think American Express is not capable of solving that competition? Not really. It could be for branding reasons also. American Express itself has already got top competition grandmaster within their company. It's not necessary. US, I think there's one guy who's heading the data science team. He's a competition grandmaster. Not necessarily American Express should come and put some data set in Kaggle. They have a strong team of data scientists both in India and outside. That is for branding purpose. And that too, that's a tabular data problem, which is very easy. Because in tabular data problem, which runs for 3 months, around 4,000 participants will come generally by the end of the competition. And it will give a publicity of like Kaggle has 8 million, it has crossed 10 million people. So it will give like at least like, 0.5 million views for them, publicity, branding. There are multiple reasons why they conduct competitions, not necessarily for getting winning solutions. But according to the rule of the Kaggle, the winners are decided purely based on score, even if it is not based on novelty. But the host of the competition can have a single call, one-on-one call with all gold medalists and choose whichever, as per the license of Kaggle, the host has the right to choose whichever solution he likes and he can deploy it. And he also has the right not to choose any solution at all. So this is the rule of the Kaggle. Why they kept the rule, I don't know. So I'm not very sure. But if you're interested in participating in Kaggle, please invest in Google Colab Pro or Pro Plus. Pro Plus will be the ideal for Kaggle competition. Because background execution is there in Pro Plus. See, all of you are busy, so you can just put something to run. And then even if the browser closes, that will still keep running if it is background execution enabled.
so in my opinion, ma'am, what I understood with my minimum knowledge from different mentors after attending the classes, and this is also a new field for me. But I have decent understanding about computer and architecture because I'm also electronics engineering. I've done my engineering in electronics. So obviously, not only the solution and the success, also they should look into the solution which is least resource intensive. If a solution is very high resource intensive, then it cannot be only, it could be implemented in some way. Because why I'm saying, I know in some of the cases one of my friend is working. He's working on his own. Um, he's working on his own startup, and he's like he's building his. He's trying to build a robot which can be utilized for for you know as a toy, but also he is trying to implement AI. So if you imagine the size of a robot, okay, so how much with minimum what will be the RAM size, okay, what will be the processing power. So if you consider all these things, these kind of models are useless. Then we cannot be utilized there. And I mean, okay, people are there are a lot of talented people are there in big universities to give big ideas. But my realization, what I understood that unless and until it can be utilized, implemented in the real world, it is useless product. It is a useless solution. So I do not know about what Kaggle thinking, but in my, I don't you think that also what is the resource utilization of the, because I'm seeing people are looking into GPU and now what is coming quantum. So I think that I don't know how to wait. I think that they should also look into the resource part also. What is the, it is very resource intensive, or it is like it can do it with minimum resources.
See, that is they do it. For every competition, you'll say they'll put GPU notebook shouldn't exceed 5 hours time. So you should come up with an architecture which doesn't exceed 5 hours time. Most of the time it is very difficult. For one competition, they've put 8 hours time, but it was taking more than 12 hours for us, training the model and inference. So keeping up with the time which they have mentioned is very difficult. So they put that constraint, code requirements, they put that constraint. It will be mostly, so you can build a model which completes in 40 hours easily, 30 hours easily, but building a model in the time which they have mentioned is difficult. Most of the competitions will have coding requirements. If you click the tag, they'll put that requirement. And secondly, there are competitions in the past which has dealt with, see, TensorFlow conducted one competition. This is for protecting the Great Barrier Reef. Prices, if you see, competition is sponsored by TensorFlow team and Google. The TensorFlow team has been working closely with CSIRO and plans to use the winning solutions to create an on-device model for the real-time detection of codes. Additional prizes will be given to data fastest model using TensorFlow. So you are having some 50,000 prize, 50,000 worth prize just for the fastest model using TensorFlow.
Yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense.
There are some competitions which have specific requirements from the client, but that is a non-client requirement where they'll give additional prizes. See, this will not be related to the gold medal. So prize money will be given to the fastest thing, but getting a gold medal or not is purely based on the score. Only based on the score, whether you get a gold medal or not. That only the gold medal is controlled from the Kaggle side. Giving prize money, this is based on the client has a lot of money, they give multiple. This is Google rich client, so they are giving for the leaderboard score first 5 prizes, then additional $50,000 just for the fastest model. That they have kept, because they're TensorFlow team, they kept it as you should use TensorFlow. So they give clients, they based on their requirement, they come and give models and all that. But Kaggle score is specifically related to Kaggle winning a medal is only related to this. Why they have kept like that is the only Kaggle team knows. So there are a lot of things about Kaggle which may not work well, but as according to our logic, it may not work out well. But you can use it as a tool from where you can learn a lot of things. And when you sit, that dedication for sitting for 3 months in a competition and learning it, a lot of times when you just read a research paper, see a sample notebook, you might not have understood that in that much of a depth. When you sit for a use case and you do it, dig through it, complete focus 3 months on a single use case, the amount of learning which comes out of it is huge. You would have superficially overlooked certain research papers, certain things only when you won't have that time to go through it that deep. But when you sit for a competition, you have to understand a lot of things in depth and things like that. So those are things which are additional benefits of Kaggle. just don't focus on the gold medals and the logic on which they give prices and things like that, because people are irrational, right? All of us don't work based on logic. Whatever they like, it is their product. Whatever they like, they'll keep that as a logic. We won't have much control over it. That is what is my suggestion, which I would say for you.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am. Very, very thoughtful and help. I mean, genuine guidelines. So, ma'am, also please next class kindly share those research paper from you said, right, where you're, because I thought that IEEE is the ideal for this kind of things, but you are saying that no, that is not the right way. All the competitions and also kindly, ma'am, say, because we don't have that much ideas on how to follow this kind of which competition or how to follow this kind of which papers to follow. So if you give the guidance, it will be quite very helpful for us.
Sure, I'll share the research papers and the relevant resources. We'll wind up for today's class. It's time up now.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Yeah,
Bye.
take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Happy Sunday. Complete your assignments, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.